Welcome back to the Learning Garden. It's July 29th right now, and our garlic is ready to harvest. This is the garlic we planted in the fall, and now this is third-year garlic. So it's a hardneck variety, and we planted just one clove of second year's growth of garlic, and we trimmed back the scapes when those grew and started to curl, making sure that our garlic plants put all of its energy down into the ground. You can see that we left some of this straw on top of the bed as well. What that does is it holds in moisture, suppresses weeds, which is really, really important when your garlic starts growing in the spring, to make sure that those grasses don't outcompete the plants. But as you can see, our plants are nice and big, nice and tall, and there are some signs that the garlic is ready to harvest. You don't want to harvest the garlic bulbs too early, or they're not going to be the full size. So one thing you can do is you can actually, pull one out to test it once the bottom 3 leaves or at least half of the greenery on the top, but at least the bottom 3 leaves are dry. When you pull one out, if you want to see if it's ready, the cloves should really fill the bulb. There shouldn't be any empty space between the covering of the bulb and the cloves. So when you're ready to harvest garlic, you're going to grab it down low, and you're going to pull the entire plant straight up and out. Beautiful bulb here. So the next thing you're going to want to do is you're just going to want to brush off that dirt, just to get any excess dirt off of the bulbs. And you're going to want to get it out of the sun as quick as you can. You don't want the sun to be drying it out. You can leave it all together, or you can trim off the upper part of the garlic plant, and you're going to want to let the garlic dry for about 3 weeks in a cool, dry, shady place, and then that's going to be ready to store, or it will also be ready to use as a seed garlic. What's a great thing to do to prepare for the fall is keep some of those really large cloves, and your biggest cloves, that's what you're going to want to plant for next year's garlic. You plant garlic after you've had a few frosts in the fall, and that's when it's time to plant. I've harvested a few more cloves of garlic here and brushed off some of those excess clumps of dirt, and so these are going to be ready to be dried. And when you dry them, you want to make sure that there's plenty of airflow. It's a nice airy space, and once the sheaths around the garlic bulbs are dry, as well as the stem and the roots, after about 3 weeks, you can trim the stem to about 1 inch above the bulb of garlic, and then you can trim off the roots as well. And they'll store for quite a while, and you can use it to eat, or that's where you can keep some of those dried cloves, and you can plant them for the following year's harvest. Here we have all of the garlic that was planted fall by Neil, a fellow master gardener, and we've harvested it the end of July. Now, depending on your location, garlic is going to be harvested from about the end of June to the end of July. Up here in Grand Rapids, the end of July is harvest time for us. And our plants are looking really healthy. Fortunately, not a lot of things are going to want to bother a garlic plant. It can happen though. So for diseases or insect damage, you're going to notice changes in physical appearance and plant health. To address what you're seeing, you also need to make sure you're making a correct diagnosis. You can actually find help by sending a sample to the University of Minnesota Plant Disease Diagnostic Clinic, or you can ask a master gardener on our Itasca County Master Gardener Facebook page. Sharing pictures is a great way to get input. Some things that can affect garlic are onion maggots. They bore into the plant's stem, causing the plant to turn yellow and wilt. As you can see, our plants are really healthy. No issues with that so far this this season. Aster leafhopper can also affect the plants. It can cause premature dieback of garlic leaves and discolored, smelly bulbs. Bulb mites can also leave small brown scars on garlic cloves. It's good to rotate where you plant your crop every 4 years and to properly dry bulbs before storage. So keep in mind, give them those 3 weeks of that airy space out of the sun so they can dry. And many garlic diseases can be brought in on garlic seed. Plant only firm, healthy cloves from reputable sources. And be sure to check out the University of Minnesota Extension website. They have a great resource called Growing Garlic in Minnesota. It's a downloadable PDF, and you can use that for more great tips on growing garlic. Another excellent tip on controlling weeds is to be really careful when you're weeding so you don't injure the garlic bulbs. If they do get injured or affected during the weeding process, this can leave the garlic vulnerable to diseases. Over the course of the summer here at the Learning Garden, we were sure to soak our soil thoroughly when we were watering to the depth of at least 1 inch each week during the growing season. Now, fortunately, with all of the rain we've been getting in the garden, we naturally received just about 1 inch of rain, but soaking the soil thoroughly is really going to help those garlic bulbs form the best. If you have sandier soil, that's going to require more frequent watering. Also, if you stop watering 2 weeks before harvest, that can help you to avoid staining the bulb wrappers, and it can help to avoid promoting diseases. Here at the Learning Garden, we do have well-drained soil, and we hold in that moisture, keep our soil moisture retentive by adding organic matter, as well as keeping some straw at the top of the soil. Garlic does prefer a pH between 6 and 7, so close to neutral. You can test your soil to make sure that you have that appropriate pH level.